Okay, here we go. Get this dirt mark off of there. There we go. Okay, we are back at the same location. Let's set this watch. Go. Well, returning to the same place. I want to go down to the Cory branch. I was just here yesterday, but I want to go down the other way. So today is Friday, April 10th, 2026. There's a Lexus just like mine, except it's a white one. Huh. I'm gonna have to go into this place one day. Health, Sports, and Medicine Center. Health and Sports Medicine Center. Let's do some walking. Let's go around this way. This place is pretty big. Guess these are like the privileged dudes parked back here. Park right in front of the garbage dumpster. They own the place. Alright, so we were here yesterday. We were down that way. This time we're going on the Cory branch alone. I mean, what am I saying, alone? Yeah, I'm alone. So this is that new surface. Much better than that gravel or that rough coal they had before. We'll see how far down this goes. We also want to see if they put the mile marker signs down below, because they have these ones. This one here, Cory 1/4, but we want to see the half mark and the 3/4 mark. They had a post down there. Like I say, this is the Cory C-1/4. They had a post all the way down at the end, right near the that bridge that goes to Neville Island. Underneath that, but they didn't have any sign on it. It's like they had been preparing this for years. Just gradually finishing it off. This is great right here. See right here, that kind of rough gravel, coal, slag, that's what it used to be. Wasn't sure where I wanted to go today. I don't feel like doing too much today. My muscles are still sore from yesterday. So I figured I'll come here. Don't have to drive too far. And this is a short branch. I can do more exploring if I want, but if not, I'll just cut it short. But if you ever come to this place like Saturday or Sunday, that parking lot is jammed. There's cars all over the place. There's people everywhere. This place is really popular. So I noticed they have this green divider thing all the way back there, all the way back to mile marker 0, and all the way down here. Not real happy with that. I don't think that does anything. I don't know what that does. Usually you see that stuff to protect, water or landslides or whatever. This doesn't look like there's a major purpose for it here. I have no idea why they use these. Really. But they put them all down. They put those little posts in them. Well, my muscles were sore last night. Prior to yesterday, I had walked on the trail like the week before, like Tuesday, March 31st. Then I hadn't walked on the trail until yesterday. Walked in a mall or two, but not that much. It's different when you walk outside, especially when the surface isn't level or uneven surfaces. Really works out your muscles. I'm glad they finished this off. Hi. Hi. Oh, check this out over here. So there's, make sure you don't step on anything weird. All those logs, twigs, and everything piled up there. Let's get a alternate video of this. Boy, that video yesterday, it took me forever to edit that last night. Alright, so see all that, like a log jam right there. There's a decent flow of water right here. Let's go pretty fast right there. So out here, they're going to have to clear that out because, man, that's piled up. I remember walking over to this. I think I'll do it today too. There's nothing that says you can't walk over. And they've got this little barrier division thing, but it doesn't mean you can't walk over here. I think it's set up for you to walk over here, which I'm going to do. That's the cool thing about taking these trails. You never know what you're going to find. All kind of crazy stuff. And these barriers over here. Looks like there was a bridge here at one point. Wow. I don't think I came over this far. See, when I came here, the brush was heavier, so I didn't want to like come into all this. But right now, it's all cleared out. There's no leaves on the trees. Look at these barriers up here. and it looks like it was a bridge, and probably goes over to, when you go up to where I parked and you come down, there's a bridge or a road trail that goes over there. It looks like a shack over there. Let's get some shots of this. There we go. Here we go with the editing of the video. Alright, so here we are. There's these barriers. An old bridge. It's not here anymore. And there's all that log jam down there. Damn, that's going to take a long time to get that out of there. And who's going to do that, you wonder? So over there, looks like a sort of like an encampment or something. Geez, I wonder if that could be like some people living up. Who knows? I'll put the fly and shit over here. Let's go over here. Look at how that water curves around. Alright, there it is. See, like right here, I think the furthest I ever came over was like right around here, because this was like all heavy with brush. And yeah, I remember coming over to see this danger keep off sign. That's about as far as I ever went. Without the leaves on the trees, we should be able to see a lot more up here, especially to the right on the trail. There's a lot of little alternate paths. At one time there were those guys on those dirt bikes riding all around over there. For a short path of 0.8 miles, this Cory branch, this is pretty scenic down here. Well, they filled this in too, see? They put all those rocks there, those heavy rocks, all the way up to the start of that field there where those trucks are. They've been working on this section. Yeah, here's another. You can sort of see the difference in the crushed limestone right here, starting right here. Yeah, this is good. Look at all these junk tires and stuff, though. Yeah, it's an old. There's an old train track rail straight ahead of me. Oh, this thing's complaining already. Dismiss workout. No, I don't want to stop your workout. No, I don't want to stop. See, this path over here, it's like dirty and muddy. It goes over there. Yeah, this path goes over there. This one goes over here. Great commentary. Well, right up there's Cory+Secret Road. There's all kind of junk down here, debris. Figure all the times you drive on that road, never really knew this existed down here. I'm not sure what this barrier is all about. Are they trying to tell you that this is the trail? Are they? Yeah, see this pile up of dirt on the rim here, on the edge? That's the way this looked before. This dark, coal-colored, and boy, this is piled up pretty seriously. I guess they're going to try to make a gully down through here for water drainage. Maybe that's what this is about. And what are they going to do? Like, they're going to keep that there and fill it over top with dirt or what? Now, that one time I went over into this section, like right up here, one of these little pathways over. It looks pretty muddy. I don't think I want to do that right now, but I went over there one day when it was really hot and dry, but now I'm not going to do it because that looks pretty dirty and muddy. There's another way to get to it up here. Oh, I hear a train. Damn. I'm sitting there just not even paying attention, but there's a train. And down here, you're really close to the tracks, but I won't be able to make it in time for that. I see it over there in the distance. I love seeing trains. I think this is where I went, right through here. I don't want to do that today. I always miss the train. There's a train now, but chances of seeing another one when I get down here are pretty slim. Unless it's a super long train, and by the time I get down here, I'll be able to see it. They're probably going to have to do something with this, because they got this edge here real high, so when it rains it's going to get ugly. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Cut. Well, I don't know. I think that was that tree that was pulled up. And that one day I heard all these motorbikes over there, dirt bikes, riding all around over here. That's the other thing. Up in Cecil, I always say I want to see a train. And the last couple times I was there at Cecil Park, I was getting back to the car, and there was a train going down along Route 50, and I missed it, from seeing it down on the trail. 2 times that happened to me. Here's another time. Missed this train. Now here's one of those pathways. Huh. Interesting. Hi. See, they got that green thing there, divider. There's another one, a blue one. It's all beat up and deflated. That's been there for a long time. So without the leaves on the trees, you can really see this stuff pretty clearly. When you get up here, you can see all the graffiti on a wall. But I'm glad they got this new surface all the way down. So there's the other pathway over there. Okay, here's that tree that's pulled up out of the ground. It's still there, but it's So that tree right there was closer to the trail, excuse me, the first time I ever came here. And the last time I was here, they moved it back. And it looks like it's been, all the dirt fell off of it, most of the dirt. There's a wall over there with graffiti. So I see there's a post, but they don't have a sign on it. One of those mile marker posts. And there's another one down there underneath after you go under that bridge. So this is one here, this post. This would probably be, okay, this is like 0.7. So I'll bet you this is like the 0.5 mile marker or something. Maybe points. Well, they only do it half mile, so like 1/4 miles on these branches, like the Bethel branch or Muse branch. They only do like 1/4 intervals, as opposed to the full trail, which is like 1/2 mile intervals. Well, this crushed limestone goes all the way down to the whole trail. I guess posts are knocked down. They block this. They probably took them out when they put the surface in. Didn't put them back. They're just gradually getting to this. So this is a bridge that goes from Cory over to Neville Island. Here's where the train we would have seen. This is all cleared out over here. Last time I was here, somebody had a tent over here. And it's all muddy. Here's one of those posts for mile markers, but there's nothing written on it. Well, we would expect to see a C-1/2 and a C-3/4, but we still haven't seen those. We only see the C-1/4. Somebody isn't going on the light. Everybody's all pissed. All those truckers up there. Right turn on red. Well, so that answers my question. Yes, they did put this crushed limestone all the way up to the end of this. Now see those barriers right there? Those are like those ones over in Cecil Township near Ridgewood, where they got the rebar here and then they lift these up. The Jersey barriers, or the what do they call them, K-rail or something. This is pretty cool right here. Maybe there'll be another train. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, I hear a train. But is that across the river? Or is that here? Look, this is wide open right here. The gate's supposed to be closed. Private property, no trespassing. I'm not going there. I hear a train. Don't know if that's across the river or is that coming over on this side. It sounds like it's across the river. So there's that skating place over there. This phone's always giving you some new messages that we don't understand. Alright. So right now, we're at the very end of this Cory branch. No trespassing. I see cops coming behind me there. I'm not trespassing. I'm on the trail. Let's get he turned already, so never mind. Alright, so that's where that skating place is over there. Parking area. And a house way up on the hill there. Zoom in on that. Wow, this is good zoom. Now, let's do a selfie. Selfie. First selfie of the day. Alright, so there's the train track back there. There's the no trespassing. There's the start of the Cory branch. Okay. So we are at the 0.8 mile, or negative 0.8, if you will. We'll start heading back. We're at the negative 0.8 mile marker. See, I expect it to be, this is like 0.8, so there should be, like that first post should be like C-3/4. And there's another one should be C-1/2. But that post that I saw was a little too close to this 3/4 one. So who knows? They're going to have to get their act together and finish this off. So I've been coming on this since, did I come on this? No, I didn't come on this in 23. I came on this in 2024. So I've been doing this for 2 years. It's pretty interesting down here. They've always had this sign here, Montour Trail. So what I expected, since that's 0.8 back there, this should be like 3/4, this post. C-3/4. But who knows when they're going to get that put on there. CP, somebody wrote on that. So here's where the trains would be. It'd be so great to see a train up close here. We're right underneath the bridge. Cory+Secret Bridge goes to Neville Island. Well, I'm not going to hang around here for too long. Let's get going. You would expect to see a train more often here than you would down in Cecil. This is a very busy area for trains, you know, all along the river. So here's where they need to put those posts through the center here, and they didn't do that yet. I mean, they were there before, but I guess they took them out when they were putting this crushed limestone in. It was real close to the roadway up there. And all that coiled up wire over there. Too bad I missed that train before. See that post right there, right in front of me, if the 3/4 is really down there, where this wouldn't be 1/2. This is like too close to that. 1/2 would be up here somewhere. Side branches like the Bethel branch or the Westland branch always get the 1/4 mile divisions. But the main trail gets 1/2 mile divisions on posts. When this wasn't paved with this crushed limestone, this was kind of spooky down here. Because the trail was real uneven, it was kind of narrow, and it was dark, like coal. Like right here, that dark color gravel and dirt. It was spooky. Now this isn't so spooky. It's crazy when you come down 79 and you want to go to Cory+. You got to get off the Neville Island. Coming south, you got to get off the Neville Island exit. Go down through, go down a little bit on Neville Island, cross that bridge right there, make a right, then go down and make a left onto that street that I was on. It's a nightmare. I think I might want to go over one of these side deals. I did it one time. The time to do it is now when there's not that many, and the brush isn't too high, because with ticks and stuff. Let's do it. Yeah, I did this one. Ooh, some kind of spider webs or something. Yeah, this is the one where you can see down in a pit. Alright, so here's all those pathways where people come with their dirt bikes all along in here. And see here, looks like there's old rail wood right there in the ground. So I guess train tracks did come over here. This could get muddy at some point, but it's not muddy today. Alright, so yeah, look. This is where dirt bikes would go up these hills. Right down there is a lot of water. There's train tracks straight ahead. I'm hearing a train again. Oh, geez, is that on this side? Should I go back? Maybe I'll go back. I'm hearing a train. Damn it, I'll probably never get back there in time for that. I'm not going to go that way. I always miss it. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to go back because I won't make it. I'm going to go back over here and see if I can film it from this angle. Won't be too great, but I got this zoom camera, so yeah, it's coming down pretty fast. I'll never make it back there to see it in time. And I don't run. I'm not a running type of person. This is a pretty good vantage point. All right, let's see what's going on. So here's the location, and the train tracks are over there. And right here, you can see the tracks real clear. So when it does come through, we should have a good shot. We're in a no man's land over here, off the Cory branch, in the middle of nowhere. But a train's horn is blowing a lot. All right, we'll resume that video once the train gets closer. It's getting close. I can hear it. Just back up. What you could do is you could run down in there and go right up on the other side of the tracks. That would be real close to the tracks. I'm not doing that. I'm not crazy. Where is the train? Come on, train. I'm hearing like a rumbling sound. Here it comes. I hear it. There it is. Holding that up. I'll probably still get it on this body cam. Just staying here with the body cam. Damn, could have been right next to that train back there. Well, I missed it. There's the end of it right there. Yeah, there's a lot of train traffic around here. See, if you went down there, and there's a place where it's not wet, and you come up the other side, the only thing is, coming back up here is a little tricky. Well, that was interesting. Let's get a swig of Wawa. You know, to get a good train, to capture a train, that is, down at Cecil, down at, say, like the Galati Road place, you could just kind of camp out there for a little while. If there's a little bench, you could just sort of take a rest and just hang out, and then wait till a train comes. Here, I don't know if you really want to camp out down here. Alright, so there's a little pathway that goes back there. That'll meet up to the trail. Here's one that goes this way. It's interesting that there's these remnants of a track here. These are the rails. Let's get a picture of that. Right here. Right here. Seems like all along here. I don't know about there, but here, definitely. Well, things are so different now as far as transportation. Everything used to be done by rail. All these trails now, Montour Trail. It would have been great to see those trains on the Montour track. Alright, so we're back on the Cory branch. Heading back to civilization. Meanwhile, civilization's right over there. I remember last time I was here, up at the, right up there where they put all that heavy rock at the edge of that complex, you could see the rails coming out on the ground. Old train tracks. I'm sure that's covered over by now. This is a cool path, man. Back there under that bridge, there was a little hut behind one of those buildings. That looked like a shack that people stay in. That's why you never know who you're going to meet down here. Some kind of random strangers, random losers. Random losers. Mm-hmm. Boy, my muscles are still sore from yesterday. Good thing I'm not on a long stretch, because I probably wouldn't be having too much fun. Gotta build up my stamina again. This is the time, like you come off the winter, you haven't done the long trail walks, and then you do one or two, and then you gotta take a break again because of the weather, and then another week later. So there was like more than a week between these trips, and here's like back-to-back day, yesterday and today. So here's another one of those where they took the post down right there from here so they could do this surface. Must have been pretty recently. I don't know, I haven't been down here since last fall, or maybe it was the summertime. Yeah, geez, I think it was the summertime. I'm hearing a train thing again. Train whistle. I wonder if it's going in the opposite direction. Hurry up, run back. I'll never make it. Yeah, see here another horn, train horn. It's got to be going in this direction, heading back this way. There's that dirt path that comes out there. I don't think you could see it from here, the train. That's alright, I already saw one. Oh, maybe you can see it from here. I hear it. I don't think you can see it. Yeah, I never would have made it back. Now look at this thing they piled up here. I don't get why they did that. So we took all that stuff that used to be on the trail. We piled it up here like trying to make a ridge here. And you dig that trench here for water drainage or something. Who knows? Alright, let's well, it's a long train, man. Looking straight ahead there, I can't see anything. Oh no, I see it. I do see it actually. Let's get this. Barely can see it, right? There, I see it straight ahead there on this little video. See that train moving across there? I got the zoom max. There's the train. Right. I lost it now. There it is right there. That's the end of it there. There's a lot of flies down here. Like I said, this is a busy area. This and on the other side of the river is very busy too. You hearing another train? Damn. I wonder if there's another one coming back. No. Well, that was fun. There's that pathway. Goes back there. Hi. Yeah, here's some tires. I can see an old train track right over there. Let's get a close-up of that. So there's your garbage tires thrown all around. A bunch of garbage over here. And there's a train track right there. The old rail. Nasty. Now this right up here is what I meant. Last time I was here, you could come up here, and there was some of that rail. They might have taken it away and moved it over there. It was right in this section. And at one time, before they put those barriers up on the trail, there was that guy. Thought he was cool. He would hit a car. He was behind the building. Instead of going out onto the road and coming down here, go out the entrance or exit and come over on this side. He decides he's going to take the trail, and he pulled his vehicle right up in here. Used to be able to drive up through here. Now they put these heavy rocks here. You never want to be taking your nice vehicle on that. Yeah, but the dude came all the way down there instead, just like trying to do a shortcut, and he came this way and went right up the back. Stupid. Now check that out right over there. Somebody put This here thing is trying to end my walk. Alright, let's... Check it out. Now, so this is the Cory branch. Coreopolis. And that way goes back to the sports complex. Where's that thing at now? There it is. You can't zoom in when you're doing this. You can't zoom. I wish you could zoom when you're doing a selfie. I think it's right there. I was under the impression that you could zoom when I was listening to these advertisements for these new phones last year. I thought you could zoom on a selfie, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. This used to be rugged right in through here. I remember at one time that guy, some old dude was working for the trail, and he was over here raking through this little gully. I didn't make much of a dent. Funny how that train track was real close, but now it's way over. You can't even see it. There's Coreopolis Road. Yeah, I think I might want to go down on that other bridge. It goes across this water and goes over there. I mean, there's no signs to say no trespassing. It's definitely not part of the trail. But there's no signs to say no trespassing. Like, if they really wanted you not to go there, they'd be posting signs everywhere. You know, like back there at the rail yard. So we've gone about 1.5 miles so far. There's houses up on top of that hill. Yeah, I remember looking at that on Google Earth, and you get down on this bridge. It goes down to some field that looks like a dumping ground, but then there's a little pathway that goes up to those homes over there at Groveton. So these are the posts. These posts need to get back in up there, but these particular posts were not here that time in 2024 when that guy took his car down here. In fact, even the ones up here, I don't think we're in. There's a C-1/4. Cory branch. Cory is a slang term. I'm hearing another train over there. Follow the rules. Walk on the right side of the trail. I'd really like to see what that is over there. Let's do it. Let's cut across. Here's that gravel. This is really hard to walk on for long distances. All the pressure points on your foot. So we were just here yesterday. So like right there is where you see backflow. Let's see, water's coming down, everything's all one direction. And when it gets right in that little corner, it stirs up some dirt. There's a little bit of reverse flow at the edge. A little circular deal. Little whirlpool activity. Yeah. Alright. Now you see there's no signs anywhere here. If they really didn't want you walking down here, they would have to have signs. So I'm doing it. We'll see if somebody comes out from that complex and says, "You cannot be walking on there. That's not the trail." We'll do this for a little while until it gets weird and spooky. I'm going to take a break of water here. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. If it gets muddy or something, I'm going to quit. There's some serious heavy duty rocks here, a little gravel and stuff. There's a path right there. There's homes that are up on the top of that hill. This looks like it's going to get kind of muddy up here. I've never come this far. I've only gone to the edge of that bridge. This is spooky. Yeah, you see it's kind of muddy. Plus it's kind of hard on the feet walking on this. I'm not sure I want to go too much further. Well, I don't know. If I was younger, I would have no trouble just doing this. But I'm old now. Absolutely no signs whatsoever telling you you can't be on this. There's some mud there. Stay out of it. I've never seen anybody down here. I've never seen any trucks or anything. I mean, I've not been on this, but I'm just saying back there at the entrance. But you can tell there's vehicles come on this. This is kind of weird. It's kind of cool though. Nobody's coming. Hard to believe that all this exists. All you normally do is you go down on Cory+, Road, you come right into... You don't know any of this exists back here. And these piles of coal, slag. Maybe this is all there is. I could have sworn I saw on Google Earth more to this. And then I saw a pathway that went up into Groveton. I wonder if they use this for, in the wintertime for road grit. True grit. What the hell is this thing down here? Is that garbage right there? Did somebody live there? Jeez. Somebody sleeps on that or something? I don't want to be down here. See, this looks like this is where it curves in back into I don't know if you're going to run into some kind of losers down here. Yeah, this is the one that goes into Groveton. Wow, look at that bird right there. Oh my goodness. Oh, those are turkeys. Wow. How about that? Those are turkeys up there. Came down from, let's get a footage. Right there. I never really see them flying around too much. I'm not sure. Let's just get down to this little area. Looks like a little clearing down here. Then I'm going to turn around. Yeah, see, there's those houses over there. Yeah, there's the end of that street. Oops. Well, this is kind of rough to walk on. Alright, so here is that pile of slag or gravel and stuff over there. That's a huge pile. And then here that goes to that street. The end of that street goes up into Groveton. We're not going to go there. We're just going to take some alternate video shots. That goes into Groveton there. That street. And this is a huge pile of gravel. This is definitely, there definitely should have been signs saying don't, you know, no trespassing or something, because this is not really public. But I didn't see any signs, so I'm hearing whistle, train horn again, train whistle. You can't see anything from here. It's amazing how big this is down here. You know, like the road, and there's a track real close to it, and then all of a sudden there's this gigantic area opens up. Cory+Secret is huge. Well, at least I did that. I always wanted to do this. Ever since I first came on this Cory branch. You never know if you're going to run into anybody, though. Definitely don't want to run into anybody. There's those turkeys. This is so close to that complex. You can see it right over there, but you'd never know this existed. This looks like somebody's, like a bed and like an place where they sleep. So, suitcase. Definitely don't want to run into anybody here. There's the Cory branches over there. This surface right here is the way that Cory branch used to be. Here I am following rules like stay on the right. Meanwhile, this isn't even a trail, official trail. This is a road that I'm not supposed to be on. So that's where they keep all their gravel. Every time I come here to this sports complex, there's always all kind of people parked on that ramp right near that dumpster and in the back. Privileged type people. Employees. or owners. Well, this uneven surface is starting to hurt my muscles. Well, this is pretty muddy right here. Some heavy rocks and boulders right there. They really ought to put some signs up over here. You could see where they had the holes where they had a train track through here before, years ago. Let's see, here's a post that used to have a sign on it. Doesn't anymore. Let's get some water. I like seeing that water get hung up there in the corner. Comes in, swirls around, goes back, makes a little loop and comes back. And it stirs up some dirt. Water's pretty clear down there. I don't want to stand up on this. You know, I'm not good with heights. If I stand up here and there's no railing, I'm probably going to feel like I'm going to fall in that water. So it's not going to happen today. Or ever. Now when I was younger, you can imagine, when I was younger, like we're talking 40 years ago, I went across the Golden Gate Bridge. I walked across that in California. Man, I don't know if I could do that now. I'd be probably really queasy about it. I was squeezy then. I remember I was a little nervous about it. Standing out in the middle of the water. Took a lot of pictures of that. A lot of those pictures are all faded by now. I was fascinated with that place. I wanted to go there. I wanted to go across the bridge and everything. Golden Gate Bridge. So here's all this gravel, which is really tricky to walk on. Let's see, where are we? We got 2.2 miles. That's good enough. I'm tired. Wipe these shoes off real quick. lot of clouds in the sky. We're supposed to have some rain tonight, overnight, this evening, and then overnight, I guess. Tomorrow's going to get a little cool again. Probably not going to be doing any outdoor walking tomorrow. Let me clean my shoes off some more. And Sunday's going to be warm. Sunday looks like the day to go out on the trail again. Tomorrow's going to be a little too cool. Maybe a high of 60. Normally I wouldn't have parked like this, because I have to get in and walk on this here surface. Is dirt, but whatever. It is what it is. So we're going to sign off. Bye-bye.